Oh, hey everyone, welcome back to Bytesector. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most anticipated phones of the second half of 2019, the Google Pixel 4. I can't thank Google enough for making sure that Bytesector was included in the launch and was ready on the day of the embargo lift. Today, we'll be talking about everything that's great about this phone and everything that's not. We'll see you on the other side of the intro. On October 15th, 2019, Google held their Made by Google event. And as many of you probably are already aware, the Pixel 4 was made official. Not to say we didn't already know what to expect, but Google stood out in front of us all and said, the Pixel 4 exists. I've only had the phone since Friday, so it's only a review based upon 3.5 days of use, 2.5 days actually. So it's not a comprehensive review by any means, but it's certainly an initial impressions review. And I can tell you, spoiler, my perspective on this phone changed while I did this review. Without further ado, let's get started. For those of you who don't know, the Pixel 4's specs are pretty much what you'd expect from a 2019 flagship phone. You've got a Snapdragon 855 chipset. You've got the Adreno 640 graphics engine, 6 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs is a base storage option with the option of 128 gigs on device if you need it. Bit small in this day and age, especially considering the cloud photo backup option is no longer original quality. We'll get into that later. You have your Bluetooth 5, your wireless charging. In the Pixel 4, you've got a 2800 milliamp hour battery and the 4XL a 3700 milliamp hour battery. On the back side here, terrible that I'm wearing black for this. On the back side, we've got a 16 megapixel and a 12 megapixel camera. On the front side, we've got an 8 megapixel camera. Video, you can do 30, 60, or 120 frames a second at 1080p recording, but once you jump to 4K, you're limited to 30 frames a second. Then, as you all know, in the top here, in the top bezel, there's a bezel this year, not a notch. We've got our Soli radar chip, we've got our front-facing camera, infrared lights and camera for face unlock, as well as the Soli radar chip. Whole bunch of fancy stuff, but it's all up there. One thing to note is this Pixel has let me down on the sound option in ways I cannot begin to tell you. I despise downward-facing speakers, and the Pixel 4 has a top front-facing speaker, but the bottom speakers are on the bottom side of the camera, or the phone, not on the display side, which, I mean, it allows that display to go right down to the bottom edge, which is amazing, but from a sound quality perspective, it's garbage. That said, the volume overall out of this phone is much lower than what you'd cut out of the Pixel 3 or the Pixel 2 XL. First and foremost, you get Motion Sense, which is based on Project Soli. We've all been waiting to see how Soli would actually get implemented. Here it is. The long and short of it is you get face unlock. It's augmented by some cameras, but face unlock is also handled by Project Soli, the radar chip. It works quite nicely. The radar chip detects when you're reaching for your phone, so it powers it on and allows the face unlock to happen very quickly. This isn't a perfect system though. I have found a few times where I picked up the phone and I found myself staring at it for a few seconds before it actually unlocked. And I know what you're thinking. You spoiled brat, Chris. A few seconds, you can't wait. Well, you're right. That does sound spoiled, but coming from a previous Pixel device, which had a fingerprint sensor which unlocked in a fraction of a second, this is how long I had to wait. Nothing. I tap, it's done. Whereas this, I'm still looking at it. In fact, it's not even going to register my face now. I have to do that. So it's not bug-free. That said, I still miss my fingerprint reader. The next thing that it does is, I'm sorry I'm not looking down, is you can use it to move through your music. So I've got a song up. If I want to change tracks, I just go like that. Ah, see, it registered. Ooh, there we go. If I want to go back a track, oh, there we go. It's as easy as swiping your hand. Now that's really cool. The more cool part is it'll happen when the screen is off. And I love that because while I was writing the written version of this review, I had the phone on beside me, it was playing music. Whenever I didn't like a track, I just swiped it away. Is it bug-free? No. And that's the problem. It's not bug-free. It's not perfect yet. So I found in a couple instances, it was sitting, if this is my keyboard, it was sitting about there. And I did a couple times where I went like this, and I brought my hand down. And just that act of bringing it down, I don't know what it registered, but it registered enough that it skipped the track, middle of the song. The other useful thing that the radar chip does is if you've got a phone call incoming, you can swipe it away to get rid of it if you're unable to answer. It's a nice quick motion. What I like is in the morning, I have my wake up alarm on my cell phone. One of the cool things is the radar chip detects your hand getting close. So that annoying loud alarm, as soon as you start to go like this to turn it off, it doesn't mute the volume, but it dims the volume and so that you're not dealing with that screeching. So I love that about the motion sense. On to gestures. The Pixel 3 ushered in gesture control by default. You could turn it off, but by default it was enabled. And it was simple stuff. Like from the home screen, you swipe up once and it brought up your 5 most recommended apps and your recent apps. And if you swiped up again, it brought you to your full app drawer. Love that. Simple gesture. You could turn it on the Pixel 2 as well, which is my camera or phone of choice. But the Pixel 4, Google thought, hey, we can refine this even further. So further gestures have been introduced. So the back button is gone. If you don't have the 3 traditional buttons on the bottom turned on, the back button is completely gone. The way they've solved that is if you swipe in from the side of the screen, either side, it'll go back. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's not a game breaker or a deal breaker for me. What broke it for me, what really frustrates me, is, like I said previously, 1 swipe up, recent apps, 2nd swipe, app drawer. That's how it used to be. Now, 1 swipe up brings you right into the app drawer. You want to see your recent apps? You gotta swipe up and hold it for about a second before it shows the recent apps, and then you let go of the screen. It starts about there. Very frustrating. Swipe up and hold, recent apps. I don't like that. I feel like Google, you took a step backwards in this. It's a bit of a frustrating step, and in an OS and an environment where you're all about efficiency, speed, multitasking, the fact that if I want to multitask by moving apps, I have to swipe up and hold, no. It was more efficient before, and I hope you guys go back to that, or at least give me the option to go back to it. There had to be a killer app. Every year, the killer app is the Google Camera app. This year, though, I'm going to make the case that there's a brand new killer app on this phone, one that nobody was expecting. It's called the Recorder. And it does just that. It's a sound recorder. Finally, Google has built a sound recorder into their Google OS suite of applications. We've only been waiting for it for ages. Everybody's offered third-party options. Why should we have to do that, though? And you might be thinking, who cares? That's not a killer app. But if you're one of those people who are thinking that, then you probably didn't watch the announcement on October 15th, because this recorder app is unlike any recorder app I've encountered before. True to Google's approach, AI is baked right into this recorder app. And in real time, as it's recording, it's transcribing the entire conversation. And it's smart enough to know when there's a question, when a sentence has ended, when a thought is over, and it starts to break it up. As time goes on, it breaks it into paragraphs and stuff. It's amazing for that. But wait, it doesn't just stop there. After you've got that recording, you've left the meeting, you've left your friend, the phone call, whatever it is that you recorded, you've gone away and you're thinking, oh, I'd love to, I zoned out or I tuned out or I want to look this up. I remember them saying something about X, let's say something about boats. That whole transcript is now searchable. You can search it and search for, let's say, boats, and it'll scroll and show you where boats was referenced. But it doesn't stop there, and this is why I love this app so much. It actually shows you, it advances the recording to the exact second where boats starts being talked about, because that's where you've highlighted it in the transcript. And right from the app, you can hit play and pick up in that recording exactly on that thought that you want to hear again. It's brilliant. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. The camera. It's the only reason you're still tuned into this review. Is the camera any good? Has Google made a noticeable improvement? And what's this you hear about astrophotography mode? I took this camera out. I've only had it a few nights. In fact, this is night number 3 that I've had it. So I took it outside. I've done a few astrophotography photos and I've compared them. So you have to go to night mode first, and then if it's pointed at the sky and the camera app detects certain criteria, it turns on astrophotography mode. There's no checkbox somewhere or mode in the bottom of the camera like beside night mode. No, it'll turn it on automatically if it deems it required. So I took some photos. I took one photo with my Google Pixel 2 XL in night mode, one photo with the Pixel 4 in night mode, and one photo with the Pixel 4 in astrophotography mode. All pointed at the same point, all from the same point on the ground and the same angle and everything. And the results are astounding. Now, I know you're thinking, well, you know what, of course the Pixel 2 is going to be the crappiest image. And it is. But in a very close second for crappiest image is the Google Pixel 4's night mode. I didn't expect that, but night mode is garbage. When you stick night mode from the Pixel 4 beside astrophotography from the Pixel 4, oh my God. There's a night and day difference. Just take a look for yourself. So astrophotography mode, you judge for yourself, but I gotta tell you, this is a huge win for Google. It kills it. Super Res Zoom. Now Google had Super Res Zoom last year on the Pixel 3. It's a glorified version of digital zoom enhanced by AI. So you'd expect it to be pretty good given that it's infused with AI. Wasn't too impressed with it on the Pixel 3, but given that the Pixel 4 comes with 2x optical zoom, I had high hopes. So I took it out to my street at night, zoomed in at the end of the street, both Pixel 3 and Pixel 4 max zoom, and I'm fairly disappointed, just as I expected I would be. Once you go to that full 8x zoom, which is digital zoom, I've never been a fan of digital zoom. I think it's crap right from the beginning, and this has not changed my mind. Super Res Zoom beyond the 2x optical at night, I did push it. I'll be fair and honest with this. I thought, you know what, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to put it in the most harsh conditions possible. Night. So night mode, Super Res Zoom, garbage quality. I did notice though, you'll notice the 2 images here. The great thing is you'll see the Pixel 4 looks very true to color and the Pixel 3 image is very yellowy based purely because of the streetlights and stuff. Google spent a lot of time working on white balance and using AI. Hey, surprise, surprise. They are white balance correcting all of the photos. And it looks awesome. Color balance wise, The Pixel 4's photo looks amazing. The car is white, the asphalt is gray, the grass in the background is actually green. It's not tinged yellow. The white on the car isn't tinged yellow. None of that crap. So I love the white balancing. The correctness is awesome. The camera is a hit. But again, as I said earlier, I have a beef with Google about 4K 30 FPS recording. I want 60 FPS recording. I can't tell you, I force myself to use 1080p recording simply because I want the higher frame rates. That doesn't mean I want 1080p. It means I want higher frame rates. I'm gonna fly through the Google Assistant because it's not too new, but it is a bit new. They have made some improvements. The Google Assistant is now much more fluid in its operation. I took it for a test drive between the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 4 and the Pixel 2 even. And in the previous versions, when I did a open Google Maps. It opened Maps. I said, look for restaurants in my area. On the 2 and 3, it opened up the Google app, not the Maps app, and looked for restaurants and displayed me a list. On the Pixel 4, and this is where it gets nice, it kept me in Maps and showed me all of the restaurants in my area in a list in the bottom of the maps and gave me the pins in the top. And when I asked it to show me where one of the restaurants was, it zoomed in automatically on the map. Whereas on the old versions, it just showed me the address and a little like thumbnail of the map, which I hated. So they've definitely made some fluid improvements to the Google Assistant on the Pixel 4. Are these going to come to previous versions? There's been no comment on that so far, so I can't give you an answer to that. I can say that the Assistant still isn't quite where I want it to be because every time I ask it for a new piece of information, I have to squeeze the edge or say, hey Google, or do something else, cancel. It's infinitely better than it was, still not where I want it to be. I think it should hold on and wait for a second command for a few seconds like you get on the Nest Hub, the Nest Hub Max, the Nest Home, and the Nest Mini. You're doing it on your other devices, do it on my Pixel. Okay, that brings me to the biggest complaint of the Pixel 4. Ever since the original Pixel, you've been able to upload original quality photos to the Google Cloud for at least some period of time. The Pixel was unlimited time, unlimited upload of original quality. The Pixel 2 and the Pixel 3 give you 3 years of original quality uploads to the Google Cloud. Now with Pixel 3a, everybody thought it's because it's the budget phone. Sure, they didn't include original quality uploads, but this Pixel 4 is a premium flagship phone, and you do not get original quality uploads with it. You can get unlimited high quality, but the original files will not upload unless you buy a Google One subscription, which will give you anywhere between 100 gigabytes and several terabytes of cloud storage, but again, you pay an annual fee for that. I don't like that. I think Google has made a cash grab, and I hate that. So, and worse, as an iOS user on an iPhone, you can upload original quality photos. So Google's kind of treating Apple users and legacy Pixel users better than their brand new phone and their users. And I think that's really crappy of you, Google. These phones, since day one, have all been about how great their camera is. And now you're gonna charge me an annual fee to get those photos off my device if I don't want to plug in a USB cable and copy them to my computer all the time because you've only given me 128 gigs of storage in a day and age when flagships come with up to 512 gigabytes. And sure, I get that those other guys don't offer unlimited original quality cloud storage for their photos, so it makes sense that they offer half a terabyte of on-device storage. It also made sense up until this year that you, Google, would only offer 128 gigs because who needed more than that when it was automatically syncing to the cloud and you never lost your original quality photos? So, is this phone worth it? Is it worth going out and buying a Pixel 4 when the Pixel 3 is $400 off right now? It's a long list of pros and cons. You get Soli, you get all of those radar gesture controls, you get face unlock, you get an amazing camera with astrophotography mode, although asterisk there, it will be coming to the Pixel 3 and 3a in the future. We just don't know if that's 1 month, 2 months, 6 months in the future, but it will be coming. But today, astrophotography is an exclusive to the Pixel 4. You get the Recorder app, which is infused with AI, which is amazing. You get Better Assistant. So much is good, but you give up free uploads of original quality photos, which, if you get a Pixel 3, is January 31st, 2022 is the timeline to get rid of those. So still lots of time to enjoy that on the Pixel 3. You don't have to deal with gestures on the older generation phones. The gesture controls on this still drive me a bit nuts. Although, again, asterisk, caveat, you can switch to the old back, home, and app switch icons at the bottom of the screen and sacrifice a bit of screen space for those. And then, of course, expandability on your storage, limited storage, small things. The other thing I would have liked to see this year is, for the first time ever, Qualcomm did a mid-year refresh of the Snapdragon chipset, and they came up with the Snapdragon 855 Plus, more geared towards gaming performance than daily use, but I would have liked to see Google go with the 855, just because, or the 855 Plus, sorry. At the end of the day though, I'm waiting for the Pixel 5. I think the Pixel 5 will be the refined version of the Pixel 4 we all thought we were going to get this year. Is this worth your money today? Absolutely. I think this is the best smartphone in 2019 on the market today, as long as you're not looking for a super hardcore gaming phone. If you're looking for photos, multitasking, performance, battery life, the full Google experience, the Pixel 4 is where you put your money. Anyways, guys, we're going to be back soon with more reviews on the Pixel 4. We're going to take a full look into gesture controls for you guys. We're going to do a bit more in-depth on the camera. Not sure if that's going to be video review or something posted on our website, bytesector.com, for those of you who don't know. Stay tuned on Twitter so that we'll let you know when it goes live. Have a great day, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching today's video. If you didn't like it, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs down. Leave us a comment below letting us know what we can improve for next time. But if you did like it, give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell beside it so that you get notified the next time we post a video. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Have a great day, and we'll see you all next time.